Alright, so this is going to be a video in which I discuss my first impressions of the Gears of War Ultimate Edition beta that's been going on this week. At the time of this video, I played a couple hours, and I decided it was a good time to stop and quickly put together a quick commentary about my thoughts of the game so far. To start off, the game looks and plays pretty amazing. Both the graphics and controls are solid, especially for, beta gameplay. Before going too much into what I like about the game so far, I want to talk about some drawbacks that I've noticed after playing a few matches, some of which became apparent before really even starting to play. I have to admit I'm a bit disappointed the game seems to be utilizing similar matchmaking lobbies as the original Gears did back in 2006. I think that's when it came out, 2006. Yeah, I think so. Now I have admittedly not played Gears 1 since whenever it came out. When 2 came out, I played that. When 3 came out, I played that. So I never replayed any of the old Gears games. Anyway, my point is, I'm not an expert or claiming to be very familiar with the original Gears 1 since it was 10 years ago. But I was a bit disappointed to see its similar matchmaking as we had back in 2006 or whenever it came out. So if my memory is serving me right, the matchmaking is very similar, and I really don't know why people would want to play a game that uses similar matchmaking as something that was 10 years, as something that came out 10 years ago. Unless this is only applicable to the beta, there's some pretty serious wait times stemming from the need to search for full lobbies. As soon as, I think you have to have like 6 people to actually start the match countdown, and if one person leaves, and what I've been seeing is a lot of people leave it like once it starts going, it can be very frustrating, because then you have to just wait in the lobby for like a quick match or social, whatever it's called. I think it's social, casual match, I think. So I don't know about you, but I've always enjoyed like kind of how the Gears quick or casual matches evolved since 1 and 2 and then 3. I don't like waiting in lobbies when I want to play. Like, I just want to sit down and play the game. So I don't like the fact that even though there's a good amount of people playing the beta, you sometimes have to wait quite a few minutes before actually getting into a playable match. That's one reason why I never really played ranked matches, because they take so long. You just want to play the game. You don't want to just waiting around. Unless you have a full team, which you can't do in the beta, which I'll get to in a minute or two. Yeah, so besides this minor kind of annoyance, I guess, waiting for matches to start, I did notice, or sorry, I'm pretty sure that this is the case, that once the game is over and you stay in the lobby, the teams don't seem to change, which has always been like my favorite aspect of playing quick matches, like having the team switch up, getting to play with different people, do the different teams and stuff, but still stay within the same overall lobby. And in some cases in the beta, it's just completely not fair, because you might have someone playing the beta for the first time, on day 3. They have a bunch of lower level people that aren't as familiar with, I guess, how it differs between, the more recent Gears games. And then you have people that have been playing since it came out, and on the same team, and then people leave, and then it's a whole mess. So I hope when the full game comes out, the teams switch up after each casual match. Another thing I've noticed is this is the Xbox One, which is not an old system. I'm not sure why no one still talks when they're playing online games. I don't understand the mentality of playing a game online and not talking. And I know they're not in a party, because you can't use parties in the beta, so that's not an excuse this time around, like it could be in other instances. So especially in Gears, like, I don't know why people want to play Gears if they're not talking. It's so much better when you have even one person communicating and talking as a team, trying to get things done, I guess. And I don't know why people don't talk. It's so annoying. Which brings me to my point of the party systems. At first I was extremely frustrated I was trying to invite someone or a few people to play, once we started playing the beta, and you find out you can't do it. So I don't know what was going on there, but I did read the next day or two that I guess they couldn't get the party system up and running for the beta. They're having some problems or something, so they just disabled it altogether. So I'm sure that's going to be fine for the full game, but it was just a little bit kind of confusing as a fact that a game that looks and plays fairly well, considering it's in the beta, they don't get the party system to be right, which I don't know much about about game development, but I'm pretty sure that might be a relatively simple thing to figure out. Anyway, maybe not. I don't know. So as I said before, the graphics, especially the lighting effects, they're extremely detailed in here. So they really did a good job touching up the original game. It definitely looks really good in that regard. So in terms of the actual beta, I really like how they're doing things so far. I like the fact that a new map and skin seem to be coming available each day, and I read that you get to keep the skins for the ultimate release, ultimate edition. That was unplanned. So you get to keep the skins when the game comes out. If you play on the beta, you play that day of the beta, which is good. So I like that. I also heard something about characters coming out for the beta that you get to keep. I don't know which ones. I quickly read that somewhere. I can't remember where. But that's a pretty cool idea. I also really like how you can spot enemies, even though that wasn't a feature in the original Gears of War. I like that they brought it over to the remaster, because it definitely is a good aspect when playing online, especially when people refuse to turn on their mics that I know they all have. Hopefully people use it if they don't talk. I don't know why you wouldn't. You click one little button. It's so easy. So far I've only played the team deathmatch on the beta, which I'm glad that they brought in for the remaster, although it wasn't available in the original. For some reason, I think just kind of the pace of how Gears 1 plays, for me personally, TDM works better than it did on 3. I never really liked it on 3. It always felt like, maybe just because it was a 5-on-5, it was a faster paced game. I don't know. I never really liked it, but in Gears 1, it kind of feels more, it kind of plays more rather than, let's say, a Warzone or execution game type, even though you do get the respawns. Although one thing that I don't like, and I kind of hope that it really gets changed for the final release, is that highly aggressive spawn swap business that's going on. I think I estimated at one time it was like it swapped within 20 seconds. I don't know if there's like criteria, if people are hanging back, it swaps faster or whatnot, but it seems to be a little bit fast. I like the idea of spawn swaps, obviously, because I come from Guardian. I play that all the time, and you get that, get the spawn swaps there, but it just seems to be a little bit too fast the way it is in the beta. So I hope that's different.